days for Grand Rapids since they last played a competitive basketball game. So it's going to be interesting to see these opening few minutes, how they respond, how they get their legs back under them.
Yeah, Westchester playing its second game in 3 nights. A 3 out of 4 run here at home against a Grand Rapids Gold team that has not played since the start of the regular season. Just one of 4 teams that, as of this morning, had not played since Showcase. Backdoor, Bryce Wills on the kick out. Andrew Funk tees it up for 3.
Funk slated as the point guard here today, but he is a shooter. That's the go-to part of his game. So he's immediately going to be an option once he gets that ball out of his hands to rotate back around and space the floor.
Shot clock is down to 7 on the Knicks' opening possession as they turn it over. Hunter Tyson on assignment from the NBA. The rookie out of Clemson brought it into the front court. Gillespie on the move to Wills. Reverse layup is off the glass, no good.
Good contest there by the Westchester Knicks. It was a struggle last game without Roby, and having that rim presence and sort of affecting Toronto and keeping them out of the lane, so it's good to see a good start there.
They lost Diakite. Brandon Goodwin found them.
Diakite is going to have to be active as that 5, whether it's the high screen, whether it's rolling off that, or relocating later in the possession.
Jay Huff got bumped. He fires from deep over the top of his former collegiate teammate. Jacob Toppin the board in a low-scoring start to this one. Brandon Goodwin on the bounce. Diakite rattled in a 3.
Huff and Diakite were wrestling on the floor before the game. Old college roommates, and now going toe-to-toe, and Diakite able to knock down that first 3.
Gillespie uses the Huff screen. Skips to Wills, and that's a 3 that goes down. The hometown kid is back in the county center playing in front of 25 or so members of his family and friends.
Inserted in place of Braxton Key, who's up with the Denver Nuggets. So a great start there for Wills, mainly for his defensive ability.
Funk, transition pop, no. Strong rebound by Diakite, who took it away from Tyson. Offensive, Diakite called for it as Gillespie tried to go around it.
That's one of those moments where the foul goes on Diakite's name, but it's really Jacob Toppin's fault. As the player with possession of the ball, you have to be able to allow your teammate to set that screen, but good to see Diakite get out in transition quickly, try and get Westchester some easy buckets.
Early first quarter from the Westchester County Center. Tyson to Huff, redirected off the rim, blocked there by Toppin. He got a piece of it, but Jay Huff persistent for 2.
And this is fun, the battle between Huff and Diakite. You can see Diakite sense the play coming. He drops back, but still Huff so big that he's a presence. He's able to gather his own loose ball.
Shot clock down to 7. 2-man game. Diakite to the left hand. Spins that one off the glass and through.
Charlie Brown Jr., 5 assists last game, is season high, continuing to look to playmate.
Gillespie throws it to the Westchester bench. Joel Garcia with the good hands.
Gillespie has a huge responsibility on this team as the main playmaker and point guard in this group. He's averaging almost a triple-double over the course of the showcase competition in just 4 games, but this is a Grand Rapids team that was struggling to find someone to dictate on offense until Gillespie became a part of this group.
We saw a look of Andre Miller, second-year head coach, 17 years in the NBA.
Talk about point guards. One of the greats all time, one of the leading assist men in NBA history. Talk about someone who knew how to set up a floor for his teammates to make their lives easier. And those are the things he can teach these young guards.
Sure, at some point during that 0-7 start to the season, he wondered if he had any eligibility left to run the team. Gillespie fading away, got it over Windler. This is a Grand Rapids team that enters winners of 3 straight and 4 of 5. They've gotten good guard play from Gillespie and Jalen Pickett, who has played on assignment from the Nuggets. Windler strokes the 3 down to tie it at 10.
You see already what this team was missing last game without Windler. Just a big, true three-point shooter. Impossible to really block his shot.
Zach Irvin denied at the cup. The former Westchester Knick into the game for the Golds. Guarding Toppin. And a reset for the Knicks, 7:20 to go. Goodwin, the handles, and the hit.
We talked about how good Wills is as a defender, and it looked like he had won that matchup, and Goodwin able to react. And now the shot's starting to drop for these two teams.
Right back at you. Colin Gillespie sticks it. Perfect start from the field for him. He's made both of his attempts. Irvin switches on to Brown. Now it's Toppin who lets it fly, and the shot making continues.
Toppin held it a little long in the corner on the last possession when Charlie Brown Jr. set him up. So good to see Toppin show the confidence in his three-point stroke in that one.
Gillespie's shot is blocked. Deflection by Brown. Windler into the front court. Good flow to this one. Goodwin surveys Windler from way outside. It's rebounded by Wills. Near the midway point of the opening quarter, Andrew Funk, the pump fake, and the drive in for the easy layup.
And you love to see that from a true shooter like Funk, where he knows defenders are going to overplay him. They're going to try and push him off that three-point line, and he's willing to take it there, gets himself into the lane for an easy 2.
Catch and shoot Brown. Bags the 3.
And as a player like Brown, you can see with Goodwin in, there's maybe just a half inch more when he catches that basketball to get that shot away that wasn't there on Wednesday night.
Tyson inside, kick out, Funk, yes sir. You mentioned it, the shot making has ticked up since a slow start.
Everyone's just waiting for us to settle in.
Westchester on this end, they've made 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. This time it's Diakite driving to the left of the paint. He draws the foul against Hunter Tyson, and that brings us to a timeout. Time for Wills to play Westchester in Westchester, and has 20 some odd family and friends in attendance to see a kid who played on this floor, grew up attending games, seeing former Westchester Knick Rashad James and Sean Kilpatrick, who played in the G League in this building. So very much a homecoming for Bryce Wills as the Gold plays against the Knicks on this Friday night.
Yeah, great moment for him, his family, his friends, and it's kind of what it's all about. You get to the top and an opportunity to come home, and of course, this is a basketball-rich area. Jacob Toppin himself, a big-time high school basketball player in New York, just a little bit up the river, so it's a cool moment to see and be a part of for Wills, and insert into the starting lineup in place of Braxton Key. Starts with a basket early on is good confidence for him.
Last time he got a start in this building, he was a senior at Iona Prep, January of 2018, playing at the first Crusader Classic against arch rival Stepanak, and nearly 6 years later getting the opportunity to start and hear his name ring out in this building that has hosted many a high school basketball game.
Were you at that game, or was that just cheap research?
I was there. I was there. Yeah, I don't think that type of research exists anywhere. So, yeah. Although I did talk to Bryce before the game and just brushed up on my history, and his memory was as bad as mine. So, leaning in and the foul. It's Goodwin heading to the line.
Goodwin a little passive to start so far as he feels his way back in, coming off the injury, out all of last year. He was the MVP at the showcase for a reason. He was phenomenal, especially in the semifinals and finals, and killing runs of opposition and keeping this Knicks team ahead in big moments. Sat out on Wednesday night, so it's good to see him back on the floor, and you can feel him starting to sort of get back up to the rhythm.
Part of what he needed to prove this year was not only his skills, but his endurance. Bit of a load management type night on Wednesday after playing 3 games in 4 days at the showcase. Knicks by 2. Tyson off the screen. The pull-up pop, no good. Diakite starting at the center spot, grabs the board. Goodwin into the front court, wants to work with Toppin. It's swung to Diakite. Brandon Goodwin, the pump fake. And now the step back over Richardson is off target.
And Goodwin had Richardson beat off the first step. Would have liked to see him drive to the hole and force Huff into a decision in a 2-on-1.
Pickett behind the Huff screen, fires and missing from deep. There's Diakite again for a defensive rebound. That's his 4th of the opening quarter.
Diakite looks much more comfortable this game filling in for Roby than he did on Wednesday night. I think the battle one-on-one against Huff, a little bit easier for him rather than a lot of movement in the Grand Rapids offense.
Tyson has the board. Turns against Toppin, absorbs the contact and hits from the mid-range.
That's a good shot there from Tyson, reacting to the defense, still able to settle himself and get it in.
Will Richardson, the rookie out of Oregon. G League draft pick, 5th overall into the game. He finds Jay Huff, who has expanded his range over the years, but didn't hit that time.
Yeah, Huff, 7-1, a legitimate three-point shooter, though, on this team. A huge part of his offense now, shooting 45% from 3. It makes it so hard to defend him. He's a good passer as well, comfortable putting it on the floor.
Pickett on the move after the Goodwin make. That sails into the front row. It's a Grand Rapids turnover, bringing us to a timeout. Well, after all that shot making, work over 3 victories. Knicks had one of the best defenses in the league, especially when you adjust for pace. And we'll take a look back to their Showcase Cup tournament victory during halftime as we sprinkle in some nostalgia throughout this broadcast.
It is an amazing thing in which Westchester Knicks, the number 2 seed going into the showcase down in Florida. You win the whole thing. You break the Mad Ants 14-game winning streak. So many applauds for all of that. But then you come in and you're at 0-0 in the regular season. And so Wednesday, I think, okay, as it takes some time to come back up from such a high of winning a cup, of being able to celebrate as a team and then travel back. But this team's going to have to find their feet again. They know they're capable of playing at the highest level in this league.
Jalen Martin misses a free throw worth 2. Jamal Bay is checked into the game along with Abdullah Ahmed. So while Westchester welcomes back Windler and Goodwin to the lineup, Davion Harmon will not play tonight. Thrown out of bounds, turnover back to the Knicks. And you mentioned how Westchester started 0-0 like the rest of the league for the start of the regular season, and it was back to square one, except for the fact that it was a bit of a negative on Wednesday night. Lost by 35, trying to avoid their first losing streak of the season. Jalen Martin off the dribble banks it in. Their 4 losses during the Showcase Cup part of the season were followed by wins on each occasion.
Martin aggressive early on off the bench today.
Pickett, the pump fake, steps back beyond the line and left it short. Battled for the rebound. Toppin, Obadiah Noel into the game.
You mentioned the negative on Wednesday night for Noel, a positive, career high 33 points, He's got to show that he can do it off the bench, though, as well. You always want to start. You always want to get minutes under your belt. You always want to be a part of the game the moment it starts to get into the flow. But Noel has to show that he can be a difference maker as well, coming off the bench here, to continue to earn those opportunities.
Chris Smith into the Grand Rapids lineup, misses there. Top of the board, speeds into the front court. It's Noel out of the corner, dumping off for Ahmed.
And you see the presence of Huff. The reigning, you said it, the G League Defender of the Year, led the league in blocks, always averages up around 3 blocks a game. And he is just a different presence underneath the hoop than anyone else in the G League.
Three-pointer good for Richardson. Gold to within 1. Noel leans in, and a foul. It is called against Gillespie. J.D. Rawls, Tyler Merkovich, and Gerda Gatling, our officiating crew tonight. Our crew chief, J.D. Rawls, a non-staff NBA official, and you might see him throughout the ACC and Big East as well, officiating some of the most important college basketball games on the East Coast.
Noel didn't want to risk going all the way into the teeth of defense that time on Huff. Was able to catch Gillespie coming up behind him and was able to earn the foul.
6-second difference between game and shot clock. Obadiah Noel is guarding Colin Gillespie, the 2-time Big East Player of the Year. On the bounce to Huff, and he bangs down a 3. We are tied at 26.
Huff attempting over 4 threes a game for the 7-footer.
Noel lost it. Turnover. Kick ahead. Gillespie over his head. And the game is tied for the 5th time as we've come to the end of the opening quarter. 5 leads and Mamadi Diakite of Westchester. So we've got some former teammates in the building. Unfortunately for us and this story, Braxton Key is up with the Nuggets. But some former teammates going at each other, and Gillespie with that connection to those New York Villanova Knicks.
And I don't think it's a coincidence when you look at the Knicks and the Nuggets as 2 franchises that are looking at the draft as successful teams later in the draft that are trying to draft veterans. And it's been this conversation. We've heard Calvin Booth talk about it a lot over the course of this offseason of saying with star players, you can't afford to go out and find the right pieces. So these teams in the NCAA that have success, players that have been in big moments, have shown that they're capable of doing what's necessary to get over the top. It's not a coincidence that you see those teams be the ones that get players drafted and taken by these teams in the NBA who are looking for these guys to come in and play similar roles right off the bat. And I think Hunter Tyson as well, the hope is he will be one of those options. We saw what Christian Brown did last year for the Nuggets, and a lot of these players are hoping to do the same things as what Jalen Brunson was able to go on and do in his career.
Just underway in the second quarter. Obadiah Noel, shot clock running down, and a block for Huff. Noel got it back. Good hustle play.
What touch there from Noel. Doesn't get phased by the first block, is able to recover, but Grand Rapids coming out and showing a little bit of a 1-3-1 zone there, trying to trap the Westchester Knicks, throw their offensive flow off early in the second quarter.
Starters back out there for Grand Rapids. Bryce Wills, catch and shoot. Only Knicks underneath for the rebounds. Charlie Brown, the lone starter, with Martin, Noel, Bay, and Ahmed. And there is CB stroking down a triple.
Struggled to shoot it last game, 5 of 14 from the field, but we talked about it without Goodwin, without Widler. His shots were coming in different areas, a lot off the dribble. Good to see him get back into his game here tonight.
Gillespie misses, Huff underneath. He is swarmed. Loose ball, Ahmed, first one on the floor, earns possession for the Knicks. It's a run out, Martin. Out of control on the baseline. Knicks will retain.
Will showing off his defending on that play. It looked like it was going to be an easy finish for Martin. Wills gets back into the play, stays vertical, affects the shot, and forces the Westchester Knicks into a full possession here to try and get those 2 points.
Brown slipping to the basket for two. Funk lets it rip for three. Ooh, that was funky.
Funk had the face on, too.
He did.
For that as well. I think he was looking over at the Westchester Knicks saying, you're putting a center on me out on the three-point line? Okay, I'll shoot it.
Charlie Brown has the answer.
So for tell right now, we saw this in the first quarter as well. Once one team was able to start hitting shots, the other team immediately would respond.
Gillespie into traffic. Huff's pass was off target. Jalen Martin scoops it up. Knicks by 7. Charlie Brown, a heat check. Got hit on the closeout by Huff, who's a bit slow to get up after his block attempts.
That's a lot of closeout coming at you if you're Brown. Yeah, the eye of the tiger, just the opportunity to step into his shots. He'd prefer not to get knocked down by a 7-footer, but gives him an opportunity to go to the line.
Cost of doing business. Huff was a bit shaken up after committing the foul. He is not out there, as Charlie Brown had that timeout to think about this free throw worth 3. He cashes in, continues his perfect shooting start, and is the first player in double figures for Westchester with 14. Gillespie swings Tyson, puts it on the deck against Martin. Spinning in the paint. Tyson fading away, no. Rebound claimed by Charlie Brown. Knicks playing with pace. Brown fires, his first miss. Now numbers the other way, 3-on-2. Gillespie, hesitation, Euro underneath Irvin, and the former Westchester Knick has his first bucket.
And you see Gillespie, what he brings to this team, and we saw it in the showcase. He came from Toronto, flew down the next day to play in the showcase for his team and almost put up a triple-double. He's always got his head up. He always knows where his teammates are, and so he can knock it down. He can score himself, but he loves to get his teammates involved.
Obadiah Noel missing at the rim, redirects to Ahmed, who floats to the rim to put it in. With Dimitros Kapintsev not with the team, playing with the New York Knicks in Orlando tonight, Ahmed is the backup 5 and getting extended minutes the last 2 games.
And Ahmed's going to have to be a big part of this team to fill in at that center position. Diakite's off the floor, so it's good to see him playing with some confidence.
Rebound down to Tyson. He'll take it himself over the timeline. 10-point Westchester lead. Tyson crossing over on Ahmed. Pure. Nicely done off the dribble by the rookie out of Clemson.
That's the second time we've seen him tonight. He's able to draw the contact. He's able to bounce off his defender and still square his shoulders up and get a clean look away at the basket. Tyson, a very impressive prospect with his length and his ability to shoot it coming into the league.
Martin regains control. It's off the iron, picked up by Gillespie on the run. Funk with him. Gillespie faking the pass, taking it right at Noel. Wanted a whistle, but got the bucket. Timeout Westchester.
And you see Gillespie the whole time. He never changes speed. That
6-point Westchester lead back underway in the second quarter. We've got both of our timeouts called in the opening 5 minutes, so we're about to have an extended run of basketball here in the second quarter. Jacob Toppin going right at Hunter Tyson, and a foul on the spin. Foul on the floor.
Zach Irvin, his first second-team foul.
an argument here whether or not it should be a shooting foul. It looks like it will be for Westchester. Coach Jop bringing back a number of starters here. Bringing Goodwin, Toppin back on the floor to try and push this lead a little bit here in this second quarter.
Initially, it seemed like it wasn't in the act of shooting, but it seemed like enough lobbying got Toppin to the line for a free throw
It's
worth
all
two.
Politics, you know?
He was very persuasive. Continuation won that referendum. Gillespie takes the handoff, working against Toppin. sets up Tyson off the rim. Gillespie nearly got the steal. Goodwin is able to shoulder him away.
Diakite has a mismatch.
Mouse in the house against Gillespie. Couldn't take advantage.
Diakite never really used his strength to push Gillespie under the hoop. He was too quick to try and spin and finish off the glass.
Richardson, nice footwork.
Richardson.
And you see Huff coming back on the floor, getting ready to sub back in now after going out with a little bit of an injury off the foul he caused on the three-point shot. But this team changes completely with him on the floor. They run their offense through him on the high post. Of course, he's the backbone of their defense as well. And you can see so much more work for Gillespie and Tyson when he's not on the floor to try and create offense.
Jamal Bay knocks down the triple. Mini 5-0 run for the rookie out of Washington. 5:20 to go. Lead is up to 11 for the Knicks. Tyson wide open. A knockout blow from deep.
Not the guy that I think the Westchester Knicks want to leave absolutely wide open by himself on that far side. Miscommunication coming under the screen. Both Westchester Knicks players went into the lane to try and protect against that pass.
Jamal Bay, bit of a heat check after he made his last two field goals, although one of them was from inside the paint. Jamarco Pickett, the length and the layup.
Love to see that from Pickett. Gets it in the corner. He can shoot that three, but takes a second, sort of assess the court, and sees the gap.
Miscue by Brown, stolen away by Tyson. Extra pass, Irvin underneath, and one. Zach Irvin running the floor and a beneficiary of the good ball movement by the Golds.
Felt like the Knicks were going to stretch their lead a little bit, as you can see. Shot frustrated what we see so far, but good work there from Tyson. Gets into the lane, always looking for a teammate. Not too selfish, and he's able to get Irvin the opportunity to finish close to the basket and go to the line for another one.
Irvin, during that transition play, was just kind of hanging out at the dunker spot, and the Gold finally struck it rich with the chance at the three-point play. A developed shooting stroke for Irvin during his 3 seasons with the Knicks. It was a bit herky-jerky. He has smoothened it out. Now in his 7th year as a pro, nothing or all smooth there. Diakite with the hammer.
Talk about smooth. Goodwin comes off the screen. He knows the entire time what he wants to do, but it's all about finding that timing. Gets it over Huff, but low enough for Diakite to finish it. And there are a few players in the gym that can get up there like Diakite.
Pickett answers right back. Toppin was out of his range, and now Pickett, Euro step. Huff is the trailer. And a blocking foul against Diakite will send Jay Huff to the free throw line.
A lot of physicality in this game so far between the two centers in Diakite and Huff, the former college teammates. And this time, Diakite able to rise over Huff on the alley-oop and slam it home.
5th assist for Goodwin. Diakite with 9 points on 4 or 5 shooting. Jay Huff with the free throw worth 2.
And those are those moments that you just didn't have on Wednesday night without Goodwin in the lineup. And just making life easier for teammates, getting teammates easy shots to get them confident, to get them into the flow. A wide open look there for Toppin again out of the hands of Goodwin.
Richardson front court, driving in, wanted Huff. It's off the rim to him. Huff, a good passing big man, will look to back down Diakite. Funk, got it. A deep 3 for Andrew Funk, and Grand Rapids takes the lead. It's first of this quarter.
Every time the Pennsylvania sharpshooter hits a three, he kind of looks around saying, what else do you expect from me? Funk shooting about 40% from three this year. Set the Penn State record his senior year for three-pointers made in a college season for a Penn State Nittany Lion. Take a look at Goodwin getting into the teeth of the defense there, finishing up against the 7-1 Huff.
Three-point play completed by the Showcase Cup Tournament MVP. The lead for Grand Rapids short-lived. Knicks back up by one. Grand Rapids closing the gap. Was down 11 at one point in the second.
Diakite said, I've seen this movie before.
Charlie Brown, no from deep, down to Funk. 2:35 to go first half.
Brown's missed two. He checked threes in this quarter, but the leading scorer in the game is going to keep putting them up.
Kick ahead to Martin was grabbed and nearly finished anyway. As you mentioned, Charlie Brown, 4 of 4 start, has missed his last two as Jalen Martin will have a free throw worth 2.
And the Knicks have made a concerted effort to try and get out in transition. They haven't gotten a ton of reward for it. They've either pulled the basketball out a couple times or made some unforced errors and turned the ball over in those moments. It'll be big for Martin to go to the line here and take the 2 free points.
Jalen Martin, the rookie who played a couple of seasons with Overtime Elite, gets that one to sneak in. Funk fires another 3. 5 triples in the opening half for Andrew Funk.
Doing what he does best, playing off the ball. Now, Gillespie playing as the point guard. And Funk, now anything he touches is gold.
In the passing lane, Pickett picks it off and gets hammered by Goodwin, who wanted to commit a hard foul but not cause any harm to Pickett.
Goodwin here, frustrated, I think, with the lack of quality right now for the Westchester Knicks, and was trying to not give up an easy 2. Came in a little bit harder maybe than he would like. It's always going to be tough for him to contest a shot on Pickett. Look at Goodwin coming in as the shortest player on the court. Pickett at 6'9".
Got the free throw to roll in to break the 7th tie of this game. .135 to go. Diakite driving right into Goodwin. Fumbles but recovers, and now Irvin has the defensive assignment. Martin, beeline to the rim.
Martin able to save a broken possession for this Westchester Knicks team, but they've been very clean with the basketball. 3 turnovers here in the last half of this second quarter.
Pickett, 4-3. Beg your pardon, it's a long 2 as Tyler Merkovich came running down the floor with 2 fingers in the direction of the scorer's table.
Pickett making the most of Braxton Key being up with the Nuggets here, averaging only 14 minutes a game.
Irvin. Now it's Tyson Funk. 3 more. He can't miss. 6 of 7 from beyond the arc in this opening half.
I'm not sure that ball even touched Funk's hand. He had that thing out before he even set his feet, knew it was going in.
Brandon Goodwin tries to follow it up. Underneath, it's Brown. Charlie Brown gets hit, has a chance at 3.
Number 16, Marco Pickett. In his first, Grand Rapids is over the limit.
And man, Funk, what a game he is having. Makes a lot of firepower just trying to keep up with this Grand Rapids team. It felt like at the start of the second quarter, The home team was going to stretch the lead, and Funk and Tyson shot their way back into this game. Pickett is giving them a couple of key minutes off the bench here late in this second quarter as Andre Miller tries to figure out what his best formula is. Coming out of the showcase, struggled to start the season, and Grand Rapids trying to start the regular season 1-0.
Three-second difference between game and shot clock. Right at the rim, Gillespie couldn't believe there wasn't a whistle, but Pickett cleans it up. Or Zach Irvin, I beg your pardon. The other end, the floater for Brown. The runner is no good as he runs into the locker room. That kids wear to Westchester Knicks games. Knicks and Steph Curry.
I thought you were going to say Jason Tatum, because I thought I saw Tatum.
There's like two categories. There also happens to be this birthday party behind us where everybody's either in Knicks paraphernalia or a Steph Curry jersey. So that's an interesting one. I know.
Teams or Steph Curry. Those are the only options.
It's incredible. That breakdown is unbelievable. Jalen Martin fires away from deep. Starting with the unit in the second half instead of Windler.
Yeah, good for Martin to earn himself some more minutes. Struggled on Wednesday night in a game where you thought maybe he would be one with the absences that would elevate and take over some more of the play. Only 9 points in that game, but he's been good so far here in this one, and now getting the opportunity to start in the second half already at 9 points.
Windler only played 9 minutes in that first half. We'll check on his status if we get an update. Martin driving in. Didn't have the angle. Great ball movement, top in, corner pocket. Back tap, Goodwin left wide open from deep. That's off the rim. Long rebound, Gillespie. Welcome to the Westchester Knicks broadcast booth where Sagana Job blocks out half the court. That's like your welcome to the G League moment.
You know, Andre Miller even would have blocked a quarter of it. But we are lucky to have such a basketball legend directly in front of the basket.
Blocking out half of the action. It's like you don't realize how much you miss until you look up and you realize you can't see anything. On the bounce, Diakite created some separation against the shot-blocking Huff. With David Goss, David Resnick, our Lineker Media crew here inside the Westchester County Center. Gillespie on the step back, side of the rim. Second game in 3 nights. Charlie Brown hits a three.
So exactly how we saw the first quarter start. Both teams getting out, running some good offense, just not able to make shots fall. And Charlie Brown was the one to turn it up early in that first quarter. Does so again here, and now Funk trying to answer again.
First half, he was 6 of 7 from beyond the arc.
I think he mean-mugged the Knicks bench on all 6 makes. So Funk really feeling it here tonight.
He was a problem in that first half. Charlie Brown, second side. That was pretty.
And you see with Brown, his wingspan, his athleticism, and his shooting ability, he should be able to get whatever shot he wants. And he's, so far in this game, let the game come to him. He hasn't forced too much, and I think that's what's led to a lot of his success.
Brown misfires. Funk open. That's automatic. We talked about those Steph Curry jerseys around the county center, and that's a great Curry impersonation as he has knocked down 7 triples.
He's got a smooth stroke. He's able to square his body up no matter what angle he comes into the catch at. And that's what the elite shooters do when you talk about Steph Curry, relocating, finding the basketball in different ways, but always having your body squared up to the basket to make it a good shot.
Tyson to the cup.
Tyson quiet in that first half, but he's found his offense in moments. You can see his ability off the dribble, that he can change the game if he decides. that he wants to.
4-point Grand Rapid lead, 4 minutes into the second half. Gillespie on the move. Wow. The handles and then the poise in the mid-range.
And he's always in control, but he plays at such a high tempo. The second the basketball gets into his hands, he's able to push the basketball into the front court. He keeps defenders on their heels, but he is always playing with composure. It's been really fun to watch so far.
Goodwin knocks down the three.
Goodwin's kind of been searching for that three-point shot so far in this game. Knocking down his first in his 5th attempt.
Wills on the bounce to Huff. Into the body of Diakite. Good verticality. Gillespie claims it, but then tosses it out of the range of Wills. Zach Irvin, Jamarco Pickett will come in for Huff and Wills.
And it just feels like Huff early in this game was imposing himself on both ends of the floor. Diakite has risen to that challenge. Seems to be enjoying the battle between the two of them, and he did a good job there of staying vertical, affecting the shot, but not getting called for the foul.
Martin driving in, a bit out of control. Gillespie came down with it, but Brown earns the extra possession.
I like to see a possession like that, though, where Toppin to try and get Gillespie into a little pick and roll action and try and take advantage.
The all-time best facilitators in NBA history.
And always the cliche when you talk about Andre Miller is it was natural old man game from the day he got into the league. It was one of the reasons he was able to stay in the league for so long. He didn't rely on athleticism. He saw the floor so well. He understood his teammates, his opposition, and that's why he is poised, many think, to be a great coach. Grand Rapids, a great spot for him to start, and talked about it a little bit in the first half, but for some of these young guards like Gillespie and Pickett, Funk, it's an opportunity to play under one of the greats all time and learn the craft.
Jamal Bay earns the extra possession for the Knicks. Shot clock issue, should have reset to 14, not 24. Not pointing any elbows or anything at Billy to my left, but first mistake in 10 years working the shot clock. I just didn't think it would be possible.
And I think that's good coaching to make sure to call him out in public at all times.
St. John's legends. Tyson all the way to the cup. Andre Miller had taken over for Jason Terry. Toppin underneath, fumbled it, and scores it over Jamarco Pickett. Jason Terry now an assistant in Utah in the Hardy administration, while Andre Miller took over the post at Grand Rapids over the last 2 years.
Two great point guards. Tyson showed so much to his game, his ability to finish through contact. We saw him get to the hole on the previous possession and finish through some traffic. So Tyson showing why a lot of people in the Nuggets front office and fan base think he could be a factor with their team already as a rookie out of Clemson, and he has been so far in his short career in the G League. Good once again here tonight. He's averaging over 23 points a game and 7 rebounds in his rookie year.
Hunter Tyson, guarded there by Toppin. That is the heat check of all heat checks. But there was also a high percentage who was going in.
Funk was officially in his range the moment that Grand Rapids got into the state of New York.
Charlie Brown, good ball movement. He sticks it.
Brown trying to match Funk. 1-for-1 here over the course of this game. 5 of 8 from 3 for Brown. Funk at 7 of 10 right now. Funk trying to hit it from deep range. Brown a little bit closer, but again, it's in rotation. He's set to shoot before he gets the ball in his hands. And this has been a much easier offensive game for him without so much of the playmaking load on his shoulders, and I think he's really stepped up.
Goaltending, Irvin gets credit with the basket. Good bounce back game for Charlie Brown. Wasn't his best effort a couple nights ago against Raptors 905. Abdullah Ahmed will have to wait until the next dead ball. Goaltending is considered like an inadvertent whistle. It's the run of play like a made field goal where you cannot sub. Goodwin driving in. Last touch by Diakite.
Goodwin got himself a little bit too deep there without an outlet and was forced to throw that dangerous pass. It ends up off of Diakite's hands. I think a really good quarter so far for Diakite, though. We saw his presence on defense, able to deny Huff earlier, and we've seen his presence on offense, setting good screens, helping space the floor a little bit as well. Ahmed, some bright moments in the first half, but a player who is coming along a lot. Not a ton of experience at this level.
Funk off the dribble, and he turns it over. Knicks turned him into more than a spot shooter, and they took advantage.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how hard the Knicks close out on Funk, whether they start just sending two at him anytime he's able to catch it on the three-point line.
Charlie Brown, two more.
And that's the key. You're hitting threes. Now the defense, like we talked about with Funk, closing you out. Brown able to catch it, already on the move, gets to his left hand and can rise above and finish.
Bryce Wills, guarded by Goodwin, called for the offensive foul.
Offensive foul, number 5, Bryce Wills is first.
Wills returning home, White Plains native. Right start in the first half. Coming off the bench here in this second half. He'll get the assignment of the toughest defensive job. That'll be on Goodwin.
Ahmed rolling to the basket. Got his own miss. Sticks with it. Couple of missed layups. Taken away an assist from BG as he smiles, knowing that his stat line does not get better after this initial miss by Ahmed, who pads his stat with a rebound.
And he did the right thing. He doesn't put the basketball down. He doesn't try and take a dribble. He keeps it high. He's able to keep that advantage of his height. Just didn't focus on the finish after all of that and just threw it up there with no intent.
Always be suspicious of big men that miss layups just to get the rebound.
And pad the free throw stats.
He's got to make it, though. It's worth two.
That jinx is on you.
You brought it up.
No, you said it.
Was it me?
It's a David Resnick special right there.
I blame it on David. Okay.
But now for Ahmed, he didn't deal with Huff much in the first half when he was on the floor. So this is a different challenge.
Huff gets around Ahmed. Reverse layup is good. Crafty veteran move against the 20-year-old draft eligible in 2025.
And Huff can just score in so many different ways for a 7-footer. He's comfortable with his handles. He can even push it in transition and shoot the three.
Goodwin off target. Rebound Wills. He'll lead the break for Grand Rapids. End to end. He's going to the line after the hit by Ahmed.
Wills just put his head down. He knew he was going to get to the basket. Knew he had that speed advantage against Ahmed. We haven't seen Grand Rapids have a ton of transition opportunities in this second half. It was a big part of the second quarter that got them the lead. A lot of it came off Gillespie, but has not been able to do it so far in this second half.
Free throw miss for Wills. Stakes a little bit different since the last time he played on these rims. Brandon Goodwin all the way in for two. Knicks close the gap. Just a 2-point game here in the third quarter.
The Knicks extending their defense here. Trying to throw Grand Rapids off earlier in the shot clock.
Gillespie probing, denied. Brown stays with Grand Rapids. When we come back, timeout on the floor. Late third quarter. All time in games played, and one of the Monopoly guys. He used to play with Billy Garrett and Sekou Wiggs. We caught wind of it as the season was going on, his second to last year. Funk underneath, and we made, something big out of it. Shot clock violation where our former PR director, Aja Hawley-Alexander, made this Monopoly Guys graphic. We would update the scoreboard after every game and even handed out a trophy at the end of the season to the Monopoly King, Billy Garrett.
That's a tough scoreboard to update because the games take 9 years to finish.
I think pro athletes have a lot of free time on their hands.
2 hours of practice a day.
And then time for Monopoly. Gillespie follows it up for three.
But Irvin, 29 years old, a huge responsibility on this team for Andre Miller's group. It's such a young group, and we talked about it. Denver Nuggets trying to build their bench out of the draft, trading for a number of second-round picks like this man, Hunter Tyson. They need to hit the ground running, and a player like Zach Irvin and Jay Huff have a huge responsibility to bring those players into the professional ranks and show them the ropes.
Tyson extending the lead. 6 straight by Grand Rapids out of the timeout. They have a chance to add to their advantage. Gillespie working on a triple-double, 17, 7, and 9. And one. Crafty maneuver as he draws the foul against Bay.
So the Knicks shoot themselves in the foot with a turnover on one side. And we talked about it. This Grand Rapids team struggling early in this quarter to get into their offense early or to get easy baskets in transition, and turnovers are going to do that for your opponent all the time. So the Knicks handing an opportunity there, and Gillespie taking advantage.
Gillespie completes the three-point play.
Dean Rice getting his first opportunity in, coming off a career-high 19 points, mainly in the second half on Wednesday night.
Charlie Brown takes it to the cup. He'll head to the free throw line for a free throw worth 2. 9 straight for Grand Rapids, 6 of them scored by Colin Gillespie. Another look at the take by Charlie Brown as he squeezed through 2 defenders, drawing the foul against Wills.
And it seems clear that Windler not going to play in this second half. It sat the whole third quarter, so more responsibility falling on the shoulders of Brown and Goodwin, but you'd like to see Jacob Toppin get aggressive offensively. In the showcase run, he had moments throughout the run where he took over the game and would score 4 or 6 straight points, and he could do it in a number of different ways.
Tyson battling for the rebound, so too Gillespie, who got hit. Rebound number 8, as he's 2 rebounds and 1 assist shy of his second G League triple-double.
You saw the smile from him. He rose up on that rebound to take it off the 2 Westchester Knicks' hands. Rice underneath him. Gillespie, of course, the shortest player on the floor for his team.
Free throw worth 2 for Gillespie. He's got 22. 5 shy of his season high, now playing in his 5th G League game. Charlie Brown stays hot.
It's Grand Rapids against Charlie Brown right now, and Charlie Brown is holding his own.
Career high 32 for Charlie. Gillespie has the answer. A dead-on 3 right down the middle.
And understanding the moment, is able to set up the 2-for-1 for his team. Goodwin tries to reset the clock. I think if you're the Knicks now, obviously, you don't have to worry about the clock, so just get the best shot you can.
Off the mark, down to Wills. Charlie Brown's 6 3-point makes, also a career high along with those 32 points. He leads all scorers, but it's Grand Rapids with the 11-point lead. Largest of the night, 5 seconds to go, third quarter. Tyson in the paint. Tyson fading away, and it is too strong, bringing us to the end of the third quarter. Brandon Goodwin trying to find his groove.
Except for Charlie Brown, no one on this Westchester Knicks team has been able to get it going offensively in this second half. They've been able to take away the easy shots. They've been able to take away most of the shots at the rim, but they're collapsing not as aggressively. We talked to the coaching staff going into halftime for the Westchester Knicks, and they felt if they could get in the lane, they could drive and kick, get wide open looks. And I think Grand Rapids have done a good job of staying home at times, not over-helping.
With David Goss, David Resnick, our Lineker media crew to open up the fourth quarter. Andrew Funk had 20 points in the first half, just 3 in the third quarter. Colin Gillespie had 18 points in the third to carry the load for the Golds. They turn it over on its first possession. Obadiah Noel missing on the move. It's down to Hunter Tyson. He secures his 8th rebounds. Took a few steps on his way to setting up Jay Huff.
He was trying to avoid Noel, who was trying to take a charge.
Caden Rice had 5 threes on Wednesday night, misses his second attempt from deep.
This is what we saw on Wednesday night when things went wrong for the Westchester Knicks. It was too much on the perimeter. At no point were they able to get into the lane and force the defense to scramble. It was very easy for Toronto throughout that first half.
Jamal Bay into the body of Huff. Grand Rapids wanted to travel. Instead, it's Caden Rice taking advantage of the second opportunity.
And the part of this Knicks team, you want to shoot threes, but you have to get into the lane, draw the defense to make it an easier shot for your teammates. And so that was a better possession there for Westchester.
Rice had 18 in the regular season opener. Gillespie got free. Knicks got lucky. Rice had just 14 points in the first 17 games of the year. Noel setting up Diakite, who had the advantage. And Gillespie forced a foul to terminate the possession.
The Knicks have gotten that mismatch a couple times. They've tried to force feed Diakite on Gillespie.
Into the role number 16, Marco Baker.
Knicks down by 10.
Martin coming back into the game, a guy who can create his own shot a little bit more than the options that were out there before. And someone who can sort of take the reins offensively without Goodwin out there.
Toppin from deep. It's down to Huff.
I'd like to see Toppin use his size and length advantage on Funk and Gillespie, whichever one of them is guarding him, to get in to the lane a little bit. Is that just a mental mistake there from Funk?
You can see at times, even with Gillespie on the floor, how Grand Rapids struggled early in the season when they didn't have a lead guard on the floor.
And they really set up a situation where they ran a lot of their offense through Huff at the high post, and he's a talented passer, a talented offensive player, but to be easy, he's no Nikola Jokic, so you need someone who is able to work through the offense a little bit more for you as Huff now brings it up the floor and shows off. But Gillespie brings a lot more there, and of course missing Pickett, who they had at times in the showcase, which gave them a two-headed monster at point guard.
Gillespie crossover, no. Obadiah Noel takes it on the move, trying to push the action. Diakite, and now Rice right off the line. An escape dribble. He misses from deep, trying to give Westchester some instant offense.
Timeout. Grand Rapids calls timeout.
Grand Rapids calling time. It allows Sagana Jop also to regroup. It's a 10-point lead for Grand Rapids. Final quarter from the county.
Breaking his leg in a pickup basketball game back in Philadelphia after Summer League last year, but before the season. And the Nuggets decided to keep him on their books because they thought he could be a difference maker for this franchise. He's talked about it this year, how appreciative he is, especially after making his NBA debut. And any time he has come and played with Grand Rapids, he has come to play, averaging almost a triple-double in G League play.
As you mentioned, missing all of last year. Denver signing him. Transition. Noel pumps it through to another two-way deal after he was on that type of contract as a rookie. Step back, crossover. Oh, that was pure for Colin Gillespie, who now has 27 points and is a rebound and an assist shy of a triple-double.
But he comes out of his dribble so quickly into his jump shot. It doesn't give the defender a chance to react. He's able to get that shot away even with his size disadvantage.
Charlie Brown Jr. lays that one in, contorting his body. You saw in the background Dylan Windler getting off of his seat to cheer for his teammates. Windler has not played in the second half and has been ruled out. Gillespie creating some space with that offhand. Windler was questionable with some left ankle soreness, but did suit up and start and play 9 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, he's been a big miss. We have to say Isaiah Roby as well has been a big miss. Roby is a difference maker for the team, especially anchoring the defense. He's the one on the back line. He protects the rim, but he also communicates a ton with his teammates. Diakite, though, brings that three-point shot.
Obadiah Noel getting all, but there really wasn't any transition to interrupt. It'd be a good question to ask the officials why they felt like it was necessary for a take foul there as Funk makes the free throw.
Yeah, I think with Martin not making an attempt at the basketball at all, the referees fell into trying to put that as a take foul. And Coach Job talking to Andre Miller right now as those two smile and shake their heads at the call. Noel still in the game, though.
Noel came back in, lost his balance. Allowed to return because the Knicks had taken a timeout. Irvin, no.
Great contest there from Diakite on Gillespie. Still got back into the play. And then Goodwin with the strong man finish in the paint.
Great speed in the open floor.
So it's interesting here. Noel is matched up against Gillespie, and Goodwin's on Pickett at 6'9".
Knicks playing with some better energy over the last couple of sequences. Look at Goodwin just shake off Irvin. He's got 16 points, 12 assists. Tyson, no, weak side. Knocked away from Diakite. Knicks to within 4.
Grand Rapids trying to take advantage of all the focus that Funk and Gillespie get right now by running a play there for Tyson out of the inbound.
Diakite underneath, top in, shoulders his way in, and one. Knicks playing with force down the stretch.
That's what we've been talking about all game. Toppin at 6'9", 200 pounds. He has been matched up multiple times with Gillespie, the point guard for the other team, and he has not been able to force his will on that matchup. And there you saw he creates the contact. He's able to finish through it and a chance to earn his team that extra point.
Knicks trailed by 13 in the second half. 3-point play completed. 1-point game midway through the fourth.
It's been a game of runs. Saw twice in the first half. The Knicks get out to some bigger leads, and Grand Rapids pull it back. Grand Rapids, some double-digit leads here in this second half. As the foul will be on the ground, Andre Miller wants the three-pointer to have counted. As you see the foul there, the contact between Brown and Huff, who was setting the screen before the shot was put up.
8-1, Westchester spurt. Funk fires, got it for three. Didn't count last possession. He made it count here.
Every Nick defender scrambling to try and get near Funk, but he doesn't see any of it. A pure stroke once again from the Pennsylvania native.
Toppin, front of the iron. Rebound in traffic for Huff. Taken away by Toppin. So they're going to say that Huff had possession and that Toppin stole it away, so it should have been a fresh 24 and not a 14-second reset.
Again, even with the missed shot, Toppin in this fourth quarter, he's just been more active. He's gotten himself involved in the game, which we hadn't seen the first three quarters, and he earns the Knicks an extra possession.
Gillespie out to defend Goodwin. Rejects the screen. Goodwin on the bounce. Extra feed. Toppin. Feet set. Up three. Is good. Jacob Toppin. Bullseye. Knicks back to within one.
Missed his first 4 attempts from three. He's knocked down 2 of his last 3. And you can see the relief on his face as he pulls his team back into it.
Crowd engaged on this Friday night in White Plains. Gillespie off balance. Gets the bounce.
And Noel and Gillespie just battling on every possession. And then a brain fart there from Goodwin.
Tyson in transition pulls the trigger. Diakite comes down with it, and his outlet pass is stolen away.
Diakite trying to do too much there. Trust your point guard, get it in their hands.
Charlie Brown out-rebounds Jamarco Pickett. It's a double-double for Charlie, 34 and 11. Zagane Joff, like the sixth Nick out.
In these high-intensity moments.
One possession game in the county center. On a Friday night during a school vacation week. Great seeing all the kids out here tonight. Brandon Goodwin whips a pass to Akite. A three is off the rim, would have tied it up.
Akite, strong game. 2 of 3 from behind the arc so far. So a good play out of the timeout for the Westchester Knicks to get a shot they like.
Off the dribble, Gillespie got it from deep. Colin Gillespie, 32. It's a season high for him. Almost matches a 34 from CB. Goodwin on the bounce. Diakite, other corner, that one short. Obadiah Noel, offensive rebounds. Goodwin faking the pass. Lost it off his foot. And a held ball. Noel and Funk will jump it up.
But for you, Gillespie, we saw the opposite last game for Grand Rapids against Ignite, in which he sort of...
And so hopefully we'll see many of these same faces tomorrow night here inside the county center. Makes a difference when you can have some youth in the building. Jump ball won by Noel to Toppin. Goodwin likes the matchup, leans in and are spun out.
Another good shot though, with Goodwin being aggressive, getting into the lane. That's been the key for Westchester, even in empty possessions in this fourth quarter.
Huff rolls to the three-point line. Toppin across midcourt in a 6-point game. Jacob Toppin to Charlie Brown, the game's high scorer with 34. Pickett hounding him. Charlie Brown into the paint, left-handed, wild shot. Good defense by Pickett. But the Knicks get it back. The cutter, Noel, extra feed, and Charlie Brown's got a career-high 36, adding on to it.
Both of these plays in the fourth quarter, everyone on Grand Rapids went up the court and left the rebounder by themselves. And you saw Goodwin there just lurking, waiting for that basketball to come down a little bit lower for him to help knock it away.
3 double-doubles on the Westchester side. Huff likes that spot. Can't connect. And a loose ball foul called against Westchester. Charlie Brown taking Jamarco Pickett to the ground.
2 minutes ago, Diakite came over during a stoppage and was talking to Coach Chop about how hard he wanted to close out. And you've seen on these last 2 possessions that he's closed out on Huff, but he hasn't gotten so tight that Huff can drive by him. He's challenging Huff to make that shot rather than giving an easy opportunity to drive, and so far it's worked for the Westchester Knicks.
Gillespie given room, but he sets up Funk. Diakite the rebound. That's his 14th. Toppin, front court, triple, no. Knicks have gone cold from deep. It's now Noel who tees it up. That one's off the heel. Toppin comes in for the offensive rebound, and it's Diakite heading to the line. The Knicks have abandoned driving the ball, and they've struggled from beyond the arc.
Long threes, though, lead to long rebounds, and the Knicks at least moving the basketball enough to force Grand Rapids into rotations and lose their man on the rebounding opportunities. We've seen now over the past 5 possessions this Westchester team be able to get some second chances a few times.
Mamadi Diakite, a free throw worth 2. That might be able to turn Westchester around in terms of their shooting. 2-point game, 2 minutes to go. Second game of the regular season for the Knicks after they dropped their opener on Wednesday. Ball is loose, picked back up by Tyson. Pickett a 3, good! A broken play results in 3. And a 5-point lead for Grand Rapids.
And what a moment for Pickett to make his first 3 of the game. Talk about confidence in yourself. Talk about confidence in your shot. Pickett has not been involved much in this second half. A Rochester, New York native. He's shooting it over 45% from 3, and he was ready when his number got called.
Mamadi Diakite will shoot 2 free throws. Final 2 minutes of the game. It's the normal NBA free throw rule. And the rule that you're accustomed to on all levels of basketball.
It's going to look weird. You're going to see me in the board.
Diakite making a couple of free throws in a row here in the fourth quarter.
The Knicks are going to have to try and find a way to find some consistent offense late on here. You'd expect a lot of it will be from Goodwin. Maybe you can work a little 2-man game with Goodwin and Charlie Brown, who have been top 2 scorers so far in this game.
Clutch free throws for Diakite. Back to a 3-point game. Knicks have not been able to get over the hump. Grand Rapids has led the entire second half. A couple of occasions they've come to within 1 point. Gillespie driving against Noel. Comes up short on the layup. Knicks looking to run. Toppin driving from the 3-point line. The floater is no good. Gets his own miss. Powers up against Huff, who says no.
The leading shot blocker in the G League last year, the defender of the year. He affects both those shots from Toppin. He gets the big block on the second one, and that might be the difference in the game. A quiet second half from Huff, but he stepped to shoot the 3 in this game. So he felt it was safer to go into the lane as the Knicks have a full court press set up here, and Grand Rapids ready for it in their own backcourt.
Grand Rapids had the ability to move it into the front court, and now they turned it over.
Gillespie breaks the press himself. He made that cardinal sin there of using the momentum to continue the play. You, as the point guard there, you want to pull it back Tell everyone take a breath and reset the offense, especially with a lead so late on.
Knicks drawing up a play during that timeout. Diakite takes it to the rim. The tip in for Goodwin, the smallest guy on the floor. It's a one-point game once again.
And when you put Diakite in the action, it takes Huff away as a help defender or a rebounder, and that's what the Knicks took advantage of. Now you've got a mismatch the other way. The point guard against the center.
Two college national champs. They won't be matched up. Instead, it's Hunter Tyson who lost his footing, and a whistle. Immediately, Sagana Jobs says, I'm calling timeout to challenge.
There's that forearm of Toppin on Tyson, and there may have been slight contact between the feet down low as well, but it was always going to be hard to overturn it when there was genuine contact that's obvious to see, and that's what the referee was explaining to Toppin as well.
Hunter Tyson makes the first of two free throws. Knicks over the limits, and we're in the final 2 minutes, so Tyson has to earn both. And so maybe there wasn't a trip, but it was illegal contact that forced Tyson to go off balance and lose the ball. And the 86% free throw shooter was perfect on that trip, perhaps providing the knockout blow. Knicks down by 3. Toppin off the back of the rim. Diakite mistiming his jump, and Andrew Funk comes away with possession, and he'll head to the free throw line after the Knicks foul.
I like the idea of going quick, too, in that situation, forcing free throws, but that was the shot that the Knicks wanted. You had Toppin catching it in rotation on the wing. It's a shot he can make. It's a shot he made the entire showcase competition that the Knicks won in the end in Florida, and that was a shot I think everyone will be happy with coming out of this game with an opportunity to tie it.
Still just a one-possession game. Knicks with a timeout and a reset available.
And it looks like
crucial free throw upcoming here for Funk. 75% on the season, 1 of 2 in this game. 4-point game, 2 possession difference. Knicks use their final timeout.
Coach Schaub calls that timeout quickly to try and draw something up for it.
17.
Guarding the inbounder here. It's going to make it intimidating for Brown.
17.4 seconds to go. Knicks could definitely look for a quick 2 and extend this game with free throws. Instead, Brown, the inbounder, has had the hot hand tonight. Missing from deep. Toppin the rebound. Quickly back up with it. Diakite, no. Toppin, yes. Possession took 10 seconds, but the Knicks get a bucket. And prior to the inbounds, a reset used by Grand Rapids.
We'll have already given the message of what we want to do. He was worried about the inbound there. All of a sudden, Huff, 3 seconds into holding that basketball, had no obvious option. The Knicks did a good job trapping the 2 lead guards, so now a new opportunity to inbound.
7.1 on the clock. Gillespie goes backcourt and gets away from Toppin, taking valuable time off the clock, and Grand Rapids nearly get the expiration of the clock. 6.6 seconds came off the game clock.
So an argument here, I think, for Grand Rapids over who was shooting in this moment. But Gillespie showing once again what has made him such a successful player in his career on the floor in a national championship game as a freshman at Villanova, because the coaching staff could trust him in big moments, and he did it once again there. He's got the tight handles, low center of gravity. He's able to get by the first defender and then understands exactly how much time is left on the clock, so he can stay in the backcourt for the rest of the game. He goes away from the defense, wastes another 3 or 4 seconds, and probably kills off this game.
Pickett makes both. 0.5 to go. They won't even use their reset as Goodwin hoists. Knicks needed a miss on the first and a make on the second to give them the best chance to win with just 0.5 on the clock. In